Ahoy, ahoy, welcome to a brand new edition of the Ramble and Reactions. Sitting next to me in my map room is handsome Dan Nye.
And sitting right over there in his map room is clever Eric Muller.
That's right. And it's Valentine's Day.
It was.
Or, right, and we're in the season of love for continuing on love stories. And you saw a movie that's the second chapter of a love story between a man and his dog.
Oh, I thought you were going to go with the other movie, which I didn't see. But yes, between a man and his dog, I went and saw John Wick Chapter 2.
Because no one's going to see a dog's purpose. You abused the animals. You know what you did.
I thought you were going into one of your characters. You abused the animals, you know what you did. But I couldn't tell where you were going with it. Anyway, John Wick 2 picks up a little shortly after the first one ends. It's not like immediately after, but
it's not like he's walking in the rain, all of a sudden he gets a phone call. Hey, there's another contract out on you.
Well, so the dog doesn't get a phone call. To nutshell the premise of this movie, someone shows up at John Wick's house saying, "You owe me for this," blah blah blah. It does tie back into the first movie. I'm not going to go too much into it, and then they establish more of the world. That's one of the best things about the first movie. That
the world building is fantastic.
The world building in this movie definitely extends on that. There's like a council of crime and assassins and something that
sounds awesome.
It is pretty awesome. It plays in pretty quickly as well, and this is a marker that shows up that's pulling him back into action, and then it's another thing where he has to kind of reluctantly get back into it. You don't get much of the dog, unfortunately.
Aww.
The dog is dropped off in the beginning of the movie and picked up near the end of the movie.
Wait, like dropped off at a dog?
Dropped off.
Okay.
Taken care of. There was an audible gasp in the theater that I went to at an event where somebody literally stops and like there's surprise, there's a big explosion. Somebody stops and then you hear the dog walk up and you just hear somebody go, "Oh, thank God."
We can't handle it 2 movies in a row.
You can't. No, I think they realized you couldn't do it 2 movies in a row. So, but then you get your quintessential. Like
gun fu.
You get the gun fu, you get him traveling to Rome, which is where a good chunk of this movie takes place. Him doing the prep, him like doing the mission he has to, a lot of the fight scenes, coming back to New York, and it's, I don't want to say run of the mill, but it's definitely not. The movie doesn't.
Is it more of the same?
Yeah, it's more of the same, but it doesn't feel as fresh.
Okay.
Like the first movie, there was a ferocity to it that you don't get with this movie. Like because he was so like enraged by what happened.
He was really driven in the first one. This time it feels like he's just dragged in.
He's exactly.
He's the audience.
He's somewhat driven in this movie, but not nearly as much as the first one, where it's like he was just running all over like a Tasmanian devil in the first one. This, they were trying to make it seem like he was backed into a corner and had to react. However, it doesn't always necessarily play like that, and it's like, oh, you see why he's good at doing his job, but then it's like...
We already know he's good at his job.
Yeah, you know he's good at doing his job, and then he has to react a little bit more. So, it's a lot of reactionary from John Wick, and this movie's supporting cast is good, though. Common comes in as a foil, and he and John Wick go on, like, a few times toe-to-toe.
Nice.
I think Ruby Rose...
yes, Ruby Rose.
An actress from the Pitch Perfect series...
And Orange is the New Black.
And Orange is the New Black. And she's one of the main henchmen, and she is mute. She doesn't talk, so she signs the whole movie. I don't know how to sign. But that's really interesting as well. You get a few people coming back. You get a little bit of John Leguizamo. You get a lot more Ian McShane.
Yay!
You were never going to be sad about getting more Ian McShane. But yeah, I think that's what brought it down for me, is I liked it. There's some really cool sequences. There are some really cool visuals. I do think losing the second director, you can feel it a little bit, because this movie does feel a little bit more stylized, and it doesn't feel as like... The first one was stylized, but also very well grounded at the same time.
This one's more stylized.
This one felt a lot more stylized and not as grounded as that first one, even though I think this movie has a better ending than the first one. The first one, that was my only really big beef with the ending, is him fighting a 60-year-old Russian mob boss. I'm like, I don't buy it. This one has a little bit better of an ending with more consequences, and it definitely sets up where you can do a Chapter 3.
Nice. So, you've given your ups, your downs, your sideways. Give this a grade.
Like the other review did, I think I'll do a B- again, mostly because that first one set the bar so high. And it's definitely...
You and your expectations.
I know, my expectations are a big thing. But even like the sound design in this one, I thought stepped it up from the first one, because each gun sounds different, which I found really interesting, because it's not something you normally consider. But like, in the first 20 minutes, you're hearing different sounding guns, and you're like, oh, that's kind of significant. So it is a very good ride. Maybe not necessary to go see in a big screen, but it is a very good movie.
All right. Well, that was Dan's opinion on John Wick Chapter 2.
Dos.
Do you agree? Disagree? Is he right? Is he wrong? Who knows? Is he somewhere in the middle? Let us know. Please comment, like, share, and subscribe. As always, with me is handsome Dan Nye.
That's clever Eric Muller sitting right over there.
And as always, anchors away and ramble on.
Ahoy, ahoy.